Brother lads, welcome back to the Cossy podcast. My name is Cossy. Welcome back to brand new video. Benjamin SESKO is set to be the first signing for Arsenal if we can agree a deal with RB Leipzig this summer. Now, in this video, we dive into how Benjamin SESKO will line up at Arsenal, how does he fit in, and how does he change the ever-evolving Mikel Arteta side yet once again. Now, we've not lined up with a proper centre forward ever since Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang and maybe Alexander Lacazette 2 years ago. The last 2 seasons, we have seen Gabriel Jesus play for us as a false 9, but also we have seen Kai Havertz play as a forward, although we know he is not a number 9. So the introduction of Benjamin SESKO means that we are going to see big changes at Arsenal. We might see players like Kai Havertz maybe potentially losing their position, or even Leandro Trossard and Gabriel Martinelli getting displaced in the starting 11. So in the comment box below, I want your thoughts. Is he a starter for Arsenal? Does he walk into the starting 11? Question number 1. And question number 2, if he walks into the starting 11, who does he kick out of the starting lineup? For me, it would be one of Trossard and Gabriel Martinelli. But I'm going to leave that one for you in the comment box below. Now, this is how Arsenal have been predominantly setting up. This is how you expect us to set up actually next season. With Gabriel Martinelli coming back into the starting 11, Kai Havertz and Saka, that will be our front 3. Of course, we'll have Martin Odegaard, Declan Rice, and your own Thomas Partey in that double midfield pivot. Let's add Thomas Partey back into the starting 11 right there. Julian Timber, Gabriel Magalhaes, William Saliba, and White will be in defense as we expect David Raya to continue as the goalkeeper at Arsenal. Now, this is not actually a very bad lineup when you think about what Mikel Arteta is trying to achieve in terms of dominating teams, in terms of suffocating teams, but also in terms of making sure that Arsenal score lots of goals, concede very less, and get to 90+ points. But it could be improved. We could actually make it better. And that is what Benjamin SESKO actually brings to Arsenal. The first thing he brings is he can actually upgrade our forward line. Now, when you look at how he's set up at RB Leipzig last season, we have seen him play in a front 3 as well with Openda and Xavi Simons. So the front 3 at RB Leipzig has been Xavi Simons, Openda, and Benjamin SESKO, especially in the second part of the campaign. When I look at Xavi Simons, I can compare him to Saka. When you look at Openda, you can compare. I don't think you can compare Openda to Kai Havertz, but in this case, with SESKO coming in, Openda would be Kai Havertz in the Arsenal setup, and therefore Benjamin SESKO would come in as the 3rd player in this Arsenal setup. So the first way Arsenal set up with Benjamin SESKO is replacing either Trossard and Gabriel Martinelli, and I have a feeling this is what's going to happen. So what we have seen from Mikel Arteta this season is he has he's done a lot of interchanging between Trossard and Gabriel Martinelli, and that has come from the fact that Martinelli has had such a very poor season, but also Trossard has been really good. But that has created space and an avenue for Arsenal to upgrade in that position. Now, it's not going to be like for like a 4-3-3, SESKO as a left winger, and then Kai Havertz as a centre forward, and then Saka as a right winger. We might see different changes. We will see a lot of changes, especially in possession and out of possession. So what we have seen out of possession this season is that Kai Havertz has been pressing with Martin Odegaard a lot of the time. So Declan Rice has dropped a little bit when we are out of possession. And then our wingers have also become a little bit, compact. And we have remained with 2 players to try and win the ball back, high up the pitch as quickly as we can. And that has been Kai Havertz and Martin Odegaard. Now, with the introduction of Benjamin SESKO in the team, there is a likelihood that we'll see 2 players trying to press, and those 2 players are going to be different. Odegaard might draw himself a little bit back into midfield. So when Arsenal are out of possession, for instance, if another team is taking a free kick due to an offside or a goal kick, we will see 2 players leading the press, and those 2 players will be Ben SESKO and Kai Havertz. And that is because Kai Havertz is, of course, one of the most advanced players for Arsenal on the pitch always, but also Benjamin SESKO is set to be one of the highest, placed players on the pitch for Arsenal. So that means that Odegaard will be, drawing himself back into midfield to help out with the likes of Declan Rice and maybe Thomas Partey, as Kai and SESKO lead the press. Now, in possession, what we have seen from Arsenal a lot of the time this season is that Kai Havertz has been occupying this number 9 position. Odegaard obviously playing in this pocket of space. Saka wide, one of Trossard or Martinelli coming wide as well, and Declan Rice arriving in this space. I don't think that will change very much, but this is what I see happening. Because Declan Rice is taking up a new role as a number 8, I don't think and I don't see Ben SESKO actually hugging the touchline like Gabriel Martinelli. So I think while we are in possession, we might see Kai Havertz drifting from the center forward position into either the left hand space or the right or the space on the right hand side, and he will allow Ben SESKO to drive himself and carry his body into that penalty area. There will be an increase in the number of goals Arsenal score if this happens, because we're going to have two players that are really dedicated at spending their time in the penalty area. We're going to have two players that are really, really, crazy about getting into goal-scoring opportunities, and that is Ben SESKO and Kai Havertz. Now, is it that simple? Is it that simple to just kick out Trossard and just kick up Gabriel Martinelli? It is not that simple. One of the things that Martinelli provides this Arsenal side with, and Trossard as well, is that relentless pressing, number one, but also his tracking back in terms of defensive numbers. It is absolutely incredible. So there is a possibility that Martinelli stays in the starting 11. There is also a possibility that Trossard stays in the starting 11. Now, the other chance of Ben SESKO starting for Arsenal, if Martinelli stays in the starting 11, is quite easy. So we bring back Gabriel Martinelli and we take out Kai Havertz. Now, this is also a little bit very possible, but a little bit unlikely, because reports are saying that Mikel is looking for a player who's going to work in tandem, who's going to work hand in hand with Kai Havertz. So we are still expecting a player to come in and give us a performance together with Kai Havertz, a player who should be able to play alongside Kai Havertz rather than playing in Kai Havertz's role. But this could happen for this reason. So if Arsenal don't sign a number 6, for instance, and we don't go for a defensive midfielder, Ben SESKO could lead the line instead of Kai Havertz. So we'll have Gabriel Martinelli, Saka, and SESKO up top. Because Thomas Partey is injury prone and you cannot trust him, and Jorginho doesn't have the legs all the time, we might swap out Partey for Declan Rice, right? So Rice comes into this space here. And that means that we have one player that needs to come into this position, and this player is Kai Havertz. Now, I want to remind you that last summer Arsenal signed Kai Havertz to come into the left number 8 role. And I don't think Mikel Arteta is 100% over that. I don't think he's 100% forgotten why he signed Kai Havertz. I don't think he's 100% convinced he's just going to be playing as a number 9, as reports are claiming. And this is the reason. In one of the most important games that we have played this season against Aston Villa at the Emirates Stadium, he played Kai Havertz in midfield and he played, Gabriel Jesus up top. That was a disaster, like a really, really pure disaster. But there is something that we learned from that, and I'm going to explain it right here. Because Kai Havertz was playing in this role as a left number 8, we saw him get a lot of chances that someone wouldn't have actually expected, and so many untracked passes to him and many untracked runs that actually he managed to pull off while he remained on side. This is the reason. Because you have a player like Gabriel Jesus here, or for instance now, this case it's Benjamin SESKO. Because you have him in this role, he's going to be able to drive traffic, drive defenders out of this area. So if he runs this side, he will go with the defender, and if he runs this side, he will go with the defender as well. And guess what happens? Because Kai Havertz is right here in midfield, right? And SESKO is around here. So SESKO makes this run to the right-hand side. There is space opening up right here. And because there is space here, Kai Havertz can travel from midfield and occupy that role. Now, I think that is what Mikel Arteta is looking to do with Kai Havertz and Ben SESKO. He's trying to create a partnership between these two players where SESKO makes a run Kai Havertz reads it. Kai Havertz makes a run, SESKO reads it. We have seen it with the symbiotic relationships that have been created between Thomas Muller and many strikers at Bayern Munich. Thomas Muller and Robert Lewandowski, tick. Thomas Muller and Mario Mandzukic, tick. Thomas Muller and Mario Gomez, tick. And Thomas Muller and Harry Kane, that could be a tick as well. The reason as to why you're able to have such chemistry, and the reason as to why you're able to have Thomas Muller on 25 goals and assists every single season, and then a striker maybe like Harry Kane or Robert Lewandowski also bringing in 30 goal contributions a season, is the communication, but also that symbiosis, that ability to work together. So because Kai Havertz is so good at ghosting into spaces, he won't be interfering with Benjamin Sesko's area. It means that if there is a cutback, maybe it's Saka going to the byline, and he crosses the ball back, that ball will be able to travel through 3 points. The first point is Saka right here. He could be able to shoot on goal. If Saka decides not to shoot, Benjamin Sesko is going to make that run towards the near post. So if that ball meets Benjamin Sesko towards the near post, he's going to bang it in. But if Ben Sesko misses, then Kai Havertz is your third option, and it's always going to be around there. He will be able to actually tap it home. The advantage with playing this system is very clear. You have 2 clinical, motivated goal hunters, and you have 2 clinical, motivated goal poachers. In Kai Havertz, we have already seen a 20-goal contribution from him in one season, and then with Ben Sesko, we have just seen him have a run of 13 games where he has either scored or assisted. So the first way I would love to see him is not replacing Kai Havertz, but coming into the starting 11 and then helping out Kai Havertz achieve his dream of ghosting into spaces by Kai dropping in midfield and Benjamin Sesko attracting all the attention as a center forward. But there's also another way that I think we could line up with Ben Sesko, although that means that we might have casualties that we don't want. And this is the way. So because Gabriel Martinelli and Trossard can always come on later, Trossard and Gabriel Martinelli phase out, right? Kai Havertz plays on the left-hand side instead of an explosive winger like a Martinelli or a Trossard. Saka retains his position, and Sesko retains his position. Now in midfield, you're gonna have Declan Rice there, of course, coming back in his position, and Thomas Partey retaining his role, or even Jorginho for this case, in that position. What does this do? It is very, very similar, and it's very close to what I've talked about. But it means that both Kai Havertz and Ben Sesko will be playing on the front line. It also means that Kai Havertz will be playing a very different role from what we have seen him play this season. So what we have seen from him this season is a center forward, able to knock the ball down for the likes of Odegaard, able to spin in behind, able to read the room and find space, but also a player that has been able to use his physicality and his pressing abilities to actually take Arsenal's game to the next level. When you play him in this kind of system, this is very different. This means that he will be part of the midfield, and that means that Declan Rice's role might be slightly a little bit deeper. It means that Kai will not be dropping as deep as Odegaard, but he will be starting from midway the pitch, right from the center arc, into advanced positions. I would love to see that, because I think the goal against Manchester United showed us what Kai Havertz can do if he doesn't go deep, but he remains high up the pitch, advanced, and then the ball is played into him, right? And I imagine if he can be like that without a proper number 9, a proper center forward on the pitch, what could he do? So what I think is the best way for me is to have Kai Havertz and Ben Sesko in the same starting 11. However, that might not really happen. That might not come quickly. There is a possibility, there's still a very big possibility that Sesko comes in as a backup player, and slowly but surely, as time goes on, he develops into, a starter at Arsenal, right? So those are my thoughts on how Arsenal could fit in with, could fit in Ben SESKO in the starting 11. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know whether he starts. Let me know who he actually keeps out of the starting 11. Now, guys, I'm begging you, please do subscribe to the channel. We are very close to 80,000 subscribers. It's remarkable because when I started this channel, I never thought we would be talking about 80,000 subscribers. So if you are really enjoying the content, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. If we can get to 80,000, we can get to 90, and we will get to 100, right? The goal is to get to 90,000 end of this year, and early next year we get to 100,000 subscribers. If you can do that for me, I'll be absolutely grateful. We have a show with Glenn that is coming up at exactly 9, and we're going to be discussing Benjamin SESKO. I mean, it's a very interesting show. You've got to watch it. Glenn thinks Benjamin SESKO is a player that is fit, like right now for Arsenal. Smart signing. I think he's a good player. I think it's a good signing, but I am torn in between. Is he the right guy, or have we made a mistake? So make sure you watch that video. It's coming out very soon, and I'll speak to you right in the next one.